Wait for me. Wait for me.
Hi, everyone. Let me turn this down on my end. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Halloween. I'm excited to be here tonight. I wasn't quite sure if I would make it or not, so happy to be here with you all. I'm going to start the community read. I'm going to be using this. This is Mother Mort's Carnival, 1897. This is from the creator of it's sort of in the family, I think, of the ethereal visions. I don't know why I struggle saying that so badly. Are you guys doing anything fun for um are you doing anything fun for Halloween, y'all? Turn the lights down just a bit. There we go. All right. So, I have Luke, my mod, in the chat, who's going to help me with the list. I was out last week, so I think it'll be a quiet week this week. Let's go ahead and get started with the community read. Don't forget to like this video to help other people find it. Let's see what our first card is. Forgot how thin these cards are. Okay, let's start with... I don't know what that says. The amazing Miles Taddy? Let's see. I'm gonna look it up. Hey, Ruby. Oh, I forgot this deck doesn't have or this guidebook doesn't have okay, it's in alphabetical order. Okay, the amazing Miles Taddy. It says this card represents new beginnings, having faith in what is to come, improvisation, and believing that the universe has your back. Modern life involves juggling many responsibilities, which can often seem overwhelming, but remember to trust yourself, focus on your task, and not simply follow those who brag they know the way. This card is also a reminder that it is all right to take a break sometimes and not to be so harsh on ourselves when we drop the ball, so to speak. This is so serendipitous of a card for me. I have been feeling a little burnt out due to work and feeling like I have to do everything. So let's see what our next card is going to be. I feel like this is the perfect time to use these cards for spooky season. This is Mirror Mary. Ooh, how spooky. Yeah, you guys can see that. So Mirror Mary says this card represents judgment and revelations, our true selves revealed, self-doubt, awakening, understanding, and redemption versus stagnation. It represents a period of self-growth and awareness. If you have wronged another, now is the time to make amends. If you have been wronged, the truth will be revealed, and the other party or parties will have to decide whether they do the right thing or double down. Whatever happens, remain graceful and calm, and never let them lower you to their standards. Ooh. So I had this moment at work where I was being a bit of a petty Betty because someone got on my nerves. So it's a reminder that, I always have to, at the end of the day, look at myself in the mirror and like what I see. So new beginnings, self-reflection. Let's see what our last card is going to be. Yeah, a lot of people during this time of year, Luke, struggle with the darkness. Ooh, Madam Pythia. Madam Pythia, this card represents desire, temptation, and attraction. Its two main readings suggest that you could either be manifesting the energy of Madam Pythia herself or that of one of her onlookers. Whatever your romantic situation, consider the positives and love that come from your attractive confidence, but also recognize the downside that could arise from giving in to temptation completely. Ooh, I feel like this is about so this is the card of new beginnings. This one was about self-reflection and this is about temptation. So I feel like this is asking us to reflect on the paths that we're starting to go down and making sure that they are not something we're going down because of temptation, but actually because we are manifesting them in the right ways for the right reasons. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into the readings. We have in the queue Avalon, Avi, and 4. So Avi, go ahead and put your question in the chat. And remember, guys, I give 2 to 3 card readings. They're quicker if for free. If you would like more detailed reading, then you can use the tip link. You can buy a mini or a full reading. The Halloween music's a little bit of a downer. Let's see if this one works. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, Avi, last call for Avi. Put your question in the chat and then I'll go to 4. I feel like it's going to be a quiet week because I wasn't on last week, which happens. Alrighty, 4, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Maybe I'll finish up early tonight and I could get ready for my Halloween party. Oh, okay. Kim. So Avi, I don't do readings like that. If you'd like to rephrase, you can. I don't do like what someone else will do or what someone else's thoughts or feelings are. But happy to do something else for you. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get 4's reading done. Ooh, spooky. All right. Avi, 1 second. Can I please get a message from Spirit? Let's see what Spirit has for you. So I am doing readings from the Dark Reflections Tarot. Ooh, the Magician and the King of Swords. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, like, right now's the time to start manifesting this King of Swords energy. You have all the tools you need. You have, the skills to do it. You have the willpower to do it. You just have to actually go and, like, take those steps. The King of Swords asks us to really embrace the more intellectual side of ourselves, and not only embrace it but use it to lead and guide and oops, didn't mean to close that. Lead and guide and use it to shape our domain around us, right? So the kings are confident, they're very sure of themselves. They are also they give off more of mm, they give off more of that energy that people want to look towards, if that makes sense. Like they can be very welcoming, and they can be very supportive in that kind of way, more so in the um like authoritative, being able to be an authority figure sort of manner. And the King of Swords specifically is very, very cerebral. So kings represent that air energy, swords represent air energy. So together it's saying to really lead with your mind and really hone that skill you have, hone the intellect and shape it and use it to create the things that you want to create, so to speak. So I think that this is a great message from spirit. And at the end of the day, I think the whole core of it is really like, hey, this is the time to manifest. If you have been manifesting, kind of put more energy and focus into it. And if you, for whatever reason, been feeling a little discouraged with the magician here, is really a sign from your spirit team that you already have what it takes. Don't fret about it. um don't fret about it, and you know lean into your intellectual side. You're welcome. All right, Avi, let's do this. A love message and what your higher self wants you to know. Let's see. What does your higher self want you to know and love? So you have the Happy Halloween. If you're going to dress up for or do anything fun, let me know. I like to hear people's Halloween plans. So, Avi, you have the Five of Swords and the Fool. I really feel like right now, when it comes to romance, to be careful of the connections that you're building right now, and you might want to consider starting fresh. So that could mean a few different things. It could mean if you're using particular apps or going to specific locations, maybe maybe reconsider like how you go about it. And that's because the Five of Swords, there's this air of just deception and untrustworthiness, but I don't think it's coming from any one person in particular. I think that this is just saying that you may not be able to trust the results you're getting from going to a specific place or type of places to find people, or you might want to reconsider how you're putting yourself out there. And the Fool is actually, I mean, it can sometimes seem sucky when you're already going down a path, but the Fool is very much saying, oh yeah, sorry, that was confusing. Yeah, but the Fool is very much saying, start fresh, start a new path, kind of take a leap of faith as well. If there's something that you've been thinking of doing or reassessing or pivoting towards, maybe this is the time to take that leap of faith. Yeah, they aren't creepy at all. Um, I guess I'd consider. No, I only did one Avi. I did one for 4, and then I just did one for you. But if another person's reading resonates, I feel like that's for a reason. I think like this is one of the creepier cards. And maybe this one if you have a thing for eyeballs. No worries. I know some people have some bad lag on their end. This guy, maybe because he's clearly a mad scientist. Oh, and this one, he's an undead scientist. I guess if you find skulls creepy, I do, but not everybody does. This was kind of creepy because the creature's coming out of the mirror and grabbing her. And then this one, the haunted puppeteer, I would say is creepy. Oh God, this one's very creepy. Creepy, looks like a White Walker. Creepy. I think this is fairly creepy, Ruby. I think the cards that I pulled just weren't terribly creepy. He's creepy just because look at his face. He does not look trustworthy at all. Creepy. Yeah, everything else though is like regular people and like or creatures. Some people find clowns creepy, I guess, but yeah. You did it wrong, Luke. All right, Luke, put your question in chat. I'm just trying to help you decide what is and is not creepy. Whatever happens to your wallet after that is none of my doing. I find this deck fairly creepy. That's okay, Luke. Oh, I forgot my water bottle. Ugh, it's okay. Ugh, I have to wash my hair this weekend. General for next year. Do you want tarot or bones? Wow, I am really lagging today. I don't know why. Ooh, I can't for the life of me find my vampire teeth. And I had a really nice set too, like the kind that like you mold to your teeth. You put the like, I don't know, resin or whatever that stuff is inside the tooth and it stays. It's not like those clip-on monstrosities. And I just can't for the life, after, so many moves, I can't find them anymore. But I haven't been a vampire in forever, so I haven't rebought them. All right, Luke, let's do a general. This will be interesting. You're going to be a little bit of my guinea pig because you're looking for next year. But I generally do my bones in the present. So if you bear with me, I'll see how this works. All right, Luke, general for next year. Ooh, okay. So you had a few things fall off. We'll kind of talk about them at the end. The one in the middle, this little bead here, is family. This is hard work. And then this is like change, and generally anxiety around change. So put that away. So the way I'm going to try to look at it is going to be like a progression throughout the year. Whereas normally I see it more as like the past through the present. So we'll see how this goes. We'll have to report back throughout the year. Let me see. How do I want to do this? Let me see what my dice are. So this is 5. This is 1. This is also 1. This is, okay, so 35. And then this is 11. Okay. So I feel like you're going to be starting off the year. And let me put this back. So it's kind of like that, I think. So you're going to be starting off the year trying to find balance with your finances. This could be like a side hustle you have going on, trying to build some new opportunities, but it doesn't necessarily seem like it's working out in a way that you intended. So you're trying to, you have throughout the year, you will have distanced yourself from it, but you will need to balance that out before you can move on from it. This is much more predictive than I normally do, so bear with me. So if you remember my video, this was like one cluster here. This is like a very spread out cluster right here, where you have 11 in the center of it. This feels like something that will take you the majority of the year to work towards. There's a lot of gap in between this stuff and then everything kind of veering through. Here, I'm going to use my handy dandy pointer. We do have some growth. We do have some, I feel like some long-term friendships that might be a little burdensome and a little disappointing. And they are, you're, I think over the span of the year, you realize that like maybe it's just not worthwhile. It doesn't provide the growth that you're really looking for, or the relationship hasn't gone through the growth that you're looking for. And really all it does is just like wear you down. And then if you notice you have that cluster, these are like just relationships. There's a distance here between friends. So it feels very much like working outside of your normal friend circle, and there's a disconnect between your friendships. So if we're, looking for advice for the year, hi Angela, welcome. If you're looking for advice for the year is, be mindful about making time for your friends and not over prioritizing relationships. This isn't necessarily romantic. This could be platonic as well, but not over prioritizing new friendships, especially if they feel distant from your current friends. So that's your advice for the year. We're entering into the main cluster here. So we have this, which, what did I say that was? A 1. So this is the stage of the event die. So I feel like you're going to be entering into this. This is going to be something new for you. It's ruled by this element 1 here, which is Earth. So, which makes sense. Very much Taurus vibes, right? And then this, if you remember my video, kind of talking about everything that's encompassing the die. I kind of consider this to be linking in this cluster. So everything here all together to include this friendship bone. This is, oh gosh, I can't remember what I said. 35. So 35 is a difficulty level. 0 through 50 is internal. 51 through 100 is external. This is more so of an internal thing that you have to work out. It's moderately difficult, but not anything like totally mentally strenuous, but it's also not something that you can passively deal with and think it'll go away. So, this is where you start to tap into your spirit team, your deities, ancestors, whatever that all looks like. And this is kind of where you do a journey of the self, it feels like. Your self bone is at the forefront, which is really good. It means you're not buried under stuff. It doesn't mean that you have, like, if this was on top, it doesn't mean that you're still like uncovering yourself, right? You're not uncovering from being in this pile, and it's about like the journey of moving through it and moving on from it. So these are kind of like your standard things that are going to happen. This is about feeling like you can't move on from stuff, feeling very immobile, sort of planted, and probably stems from fears that are being generated by your mental health. So I think this is very much going to be a journey if you look at it like these almost like lumping them all together. This is going to be a journey of you learning how to find yourself and find that vibrance within yourself while managing these things. Because this is just part of life. And this is just how we have to figure out, where we fit into it. I think on the outskirts, one of my other recommendations is to find ways to make this more integral in this process. And then, of course, also to allow your friendships into this process and be a part of your entirety, I guess, moving forward. The bane of your existence is always something internal. That's funny. So, Fun Boy, you type exclamation point and join together as one word, and it will add you to the queue, just like this. You can see on the screen. So, Luke, it seems like you have a bit of a journey, and if you do your year ahead readings, I would maybe look into this specifically. You already said this is starting to make sense, so I don't think you necessarily need to look into that very much more. These are side things. They were, if you remember my video, they're like the adjective bones. They don't really relate to anything. These are about not feeling anxious because this flew off the board. Not feeling anxious about change. Maybe there's really nothing different that's going on with your family that's really impactful, at least nothing on the horizon right now. And then this is like an action thing. This is about hard work. So I think that this should be on the board. You might want to reassess that, especially when it comes to this and bridging that gap. So that was your bone reading. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I see we have a few more people join the queue. Welcome. All right, I'm going to clean this up. Angela, go ahead, put your question in the chat. And Fun Boy, you made it into the queue. I guess it worked. It worked somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there it is. I see. Cool. Happy Halloween, Andrea. I'm glad you like them. I'm going to be a little bit more consistent in doing them. I don't do them often because I very rarely do general readings for myself. So, and then I always forget to offer them here. All right, let's move this out of the way. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Love message for Angela. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords and the King of Cups. Two of Swords tells me that, I'm sorry, one second. One of my programs shut down. Swords tells me that you have some decisions coming up in terms of, I guess, how you're going to navigate, and I feel like that part of that is going to be whoever this King of Cups is that comes your way. So, excuse me. Well, I normally point at the cards, but I'm trying to pull my hair up at the same time. So the Two of Swords tells me that this person is going to enter your life, and you need to decide on if you want to do anything with that. I'll describe the King of Cups. It may or may not be someone who you already know, so I'll just describe him and we can go from there. But the kings in general are generally confident. They're very much more established. Therefore, they tend to be older, but they don't have to be. They can just be much more rooted in themselves and sure of themselves, and much more mature than perhaps others of their age if they aren't older. The King of Cups, kings are also generally fairly intelligent. They tend to lead with their intelligence, but the King of Cups specifically has this nice balance between being very emotionally intelligent and also intellectually intelligent. So he has like that balance of both, where he can be soft and caring when needed, but knows when to be authoritative, be an authority when needed as well. So I would say that this person might be coming in, and it could just be a decision on whether the time is right. It could be that, you have to decide if that person is right, stuff like that. But yeah, I totally see. I really love the King of Cups. Consider him like the charming king, but not in a manipulative way. Man, say that 10 times fast. Alrighty, Andrea, you're up next. Angela, let me know if you have any questions. I have, after Andrea, I'll have Ruby, welcome to the queue, and Funboy. Yeah, you're welcome, Angela. You'll have to let me know when this King of Cups appears. All right, 1 second. Let me grab my water bottle. I did a paid reading right before this and have a little bit of a headache. So I don't do third-party readings, like whatever is up with him. You'd have to ask, but I can see what is going on between y'all, the energy between y'all, because you do have some sort of control over that, if that's cool. Alrighty. I'm still gonna use this just as a focal point. Let's see. So we have the no, that's wrong. Sorry. We have the page of wands and the three of swords. Um so there's definitely a disconnect. All right. Yep. There's definitely a disconnect here. So I feel like, if you two are these people, you said you're an Aries and he's a Leo. Okay, interesting. Wonder, so the way that I saw it originally, Wands is fire. I saw that really as like Carlos's energy, and then I kind of see you as the Page of Cups. I don't know if you have water in your top three, but um, it could just also be personality driven. There is a little bit of a disconnect here, driven by the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords card is really the card of like grief. There's stuff weighing. There's stuff weighing on the energy between y'all in terms of just the ability to communicate has been devolving. I know you said he blew you off last weekend, but it seems also too that these pages can be on the same page. They're facing the same direction, but their motivation is a little different. So that could be causing the bit of disconnect. I'll describe it and I'll kind of let you fill in the gaps, so to speak. So the Page of Wands is, well, pages in general, they're the younger of the court cards. They, not to mean that y'all are young or immature or anything like that, but there is still room for growth there. It's very new when it comes to the journey that they're on. So together, I don't know how long you guys had been together or anything like that, but I think that there's still room to grow in terms of how you guys handle things and how you guys handle each other and how you guys handle your relationship. The Page of Wands is more of the kind of person that wants to explore, tend to always be moving and kind of on to the next thing. And there's this like desire for overall just adventure and excitement, which can be good in a person, but if it conflicts with the other person, which is more of the sensitive, kind of more still kind of person who would rather sit and enjoy the things around them. Think of this as like the the bookworm versus the one that wants to go out and party and stuff like that. So sometimes there can be a disconnect. Not to say, I was just using that as an example, so not to say that's how y'all are, but I would say that for you, my tip would be to reflect on like things in the past where you guys have misaligned and how you can bridge that gap between y'all in the future. And I think that's where you guys need to talk. The key here in the center of the reading is the swords. Swords are the cards of communication. So I would recommend finding ways to build healthy avenues for communication. And I know, some of it is, it takes two to tango in that sort of aspect. But sometimes it just takes one person to kind of kick it off. Alrighty, Andrea, that was your reading. Up next, we have Ruby, and then we have Fun Boy after Ruby. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out on Spooky Night. And that's so kind of you. Thank you. I have to figure out why there's such a delay. Hmm. Alrighty. Ruby, you were up next. Hmm. Let's see what November has for you, Ruby. So that was another page for a second. I was like, wow, we're getting a lot of pages as a community. Our first repeat of the night is our King of Swords. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and King of Swords. So I think that's more like that. Thank you, Luke. So for the Four of Pentacles, I reverse that because you have the Earth energy kind of conflicting with these two air cards here. But interesting is November. I don't know where you live. I tend to assume people are in the States until they tell me otherwise. But November is kind of like what I consider to be the kickoff of the holiday season. There are a lot of holidays in there. There's a lot of like spending in those months. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles in reverse is like saying you just absolutely don't want to do that. And it's like conflicting here with the Knight of Swords, which is more of the impulsive, one of the more impulsive knights. So I think there's going to be a need to find that balance in November about, not going through a cycle. Okay, you're a Canadian. You guys still have like a lot of the holidays and stuff. I think your Thanksgiving was this month though, right? So now's the kickoff, I guess. But anyways, I digress. I went on a tangent there. The Knight of Swords is really like saying, whatever thought pops in my head, I'm gonna go on and do that thing. But then it kind of conflicts with the desire to like hold on to your money and be a little like frugal during this time, or be a little more conservative with your money during this time. So there's a little bit of a mismatch here, and I think the King of Swords can help because he is much more disciplined than the Knight is. So so it's about November is going to be a struggle of balancing that impulsiveness cycled with then wanting to conserve money, but then wanting to spend it again. And that is with that balance or that resistance will come in with this king here, who is much more disciplined. This is where you really, really just have to put your mind to it, be very intentional about how you confront that. I think I mentioned it in a previous reading, but the King of Knights is very, very smart, very intellectual. So this is more of a like thought scape thing. What's the word I'm looking for? This is more like a thought puzzle for you than really anything actionable. Like that you have to do. This is about getting your mind right versus actually having to physically go and do something. So yeah, November seems like it's going to be a little bit of a challenge in that regard, and tackling that drive to be this knight here. Oh, the second Monday. Okay. I knew it was sometime like mid-October because I remember still talking about it. But I couldn't all the way remember. Oh yeah, I was talking to Luke. I was like, "What is going on with the delays?" And I wonder if it's because of all the bad weather that's been going on everywhere. Because usually it's not this bad. Like y'all are always a little bit behind me, but it's like a good I feel like 20 seconds. See, yeah, it was like, yeah, well, you gotta pay your bills, right? You gotta pay your rent and you gotta pay for your car. Like, otherwise that stuff goes away. Um, but maybe the tarot deck can wait, unless it's on super sale. Then yeah. Hey Alana. Oh, you know what? I never changed my settings to not be subscribers only. That's what it was. Or not that's what it was, but that's why it was so quiet, which honestly I'm fine for today. But I'm gonna close the queue because I want to get out of here exactly ish on 8 at 8. Maybe I'll go a little longer next week. How are you doing, Alana? I feel like I haven't spoken to you in 5 ever. I don't know if you saw, but I finally did an update to my bone throwing video. Luke peer pressured me into it. And I finally got the energy to do so. Yeah. I accidentally had my light on, and like right before the live, someone rang my doorbell and I came down. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even remember I had the light on. Do you want a bone reading right now, Alana? Or do you want to do it like I can record you're welcome, Ruby. Or I can record a video for you and send it. Because if you, I mean, the queue's closed, but you know, I can absolutely do a bone reading for you. Just let me know. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of do like the simplified casting lots version of bone readings, where they just take up bones or sticks or something and just toss them and see like for yes nos. So I feel like people don't see a lot of like full bone readings nowadays. Ooh, yay. I'm glad you saw it. That means it's getting out there. At least people are seeing it. I hope people comment so I know what I should do next. Maybe I'll do like the connection between bones and tarot and like how I would take a bone reading and expand upon it using tarot. Alrighty, let's do a quick bone reading for Alana. So my bone readings are just general. You can ask for a focus, like Luke asked for next year. Some people ask if I can see like a specific topic, and others just let me do the generals and see what no, it's funny because a lot of cultures have their version of bone readings, and or like casting lots in general, not necessarily always bones, but yeah. I know I need to study more of the dice stuff, like specific. I mean, I have dice in mind, but like the actual just dice only that who was it that put that out? Was it Lisa Pepez and someone else? I really need to look into that. Okay. General reading for Alana. I'm going to just move this closer, then I'll shift it up. Alrighty. Here you go. So, let's see. This is 5. This is 12. Okay. 343. Okay. So, if you Lisa Pepez and Dom Michelle, thank you. Oh, sorry. I already through it, but we could see some of this is gleanable. So the way my readings work is this is kind of currently going from like past through present, and sometimes a little into the future depending how the throw is. But back here looks like we have some really cool things that have happened. Like you had some new opportunities that kind of presented themselves to you regarding, so I think new opportunities financially. I'll look into that. But it seems like you have a lot of great support with your spiritual team, whether this be your deities and ancestors, stuff like that. I feel like I need to expand upon this bone and get like individual ones. Anyways, talking through that. But I feel like if I look at this is like the cluster here. And it really shows the connection between your family, your spiritual team, and just overall new perspectives over everything that you've worked and all of the new opportunities being presented to you. This 5 here is talking about the stage of the event. This is 5 out of 8. So you're about like a little over halfway through it. So this is something that you're still working on, but it's something that started in your past and something that is just with you right now. Hopefully that makes sense. And that definitely makes more sense because we have this tooth here. This is also, I would say, governed by the element 2, which is, I have my little cheat sheet, which is what I'm looking at, fire. So this is ruled over the fire element, which makes a lot of sense because it feels very much like a lot of hard work that's going into it. One of the things, there's a natural connection between this cluster here and like bridging into this main cluster. I'll talk about that, and then I'll kind of talk about this little side cluster here. So, while this feels very good, it feels like you have a lot of high energy around you. It's transitioning. It's also a lot of work. It feels like, so you have to, I would say my advice in that is to remember to take care of yourself. You're sort of disconnected from, like, we want to swap out these two. Like this wants to be, you want this to be further away, which is more so like feeling burdened and drained, and this is more rejuvenated and feeling more like you have some vitality. But overall, we have some growth here. This feels more like a connection between this and this. So I'll talk about that later. Your self bone here is underneath and blocked by a few things. So this is the bone of change underneath here. And then this is about just anxiety, which I tend to correlate to like mental health. Good news is you're distanced from these guys here, which is some fears around, I would say fears around just like fears that are causing immobility. Whatever those were, I think you're going to start to finally break free of that. You can already see it here. They're not touching, but the distance isn't very great. So it's something you're still working on to put behind you, but you still have some lingering energy in terms of these guys here. So generally in a reading like my bone readings, and you do tarot, so you can always look into this yourself, I would recommend looking into like how to unbury yourself from anxieties and what is causing this change. Like what change are you hesitant on that is keeping you rooted down? Over here, this is another section that I think I would recommend you look into. So I mentioned you had this good little cluster here, new opportunities that you discovered around financial things, but then there's this sort of almost wall between friends. And this seems like a friendship or friend circle that just very much disappointed you. I don't know what that is about, what that blockage is, but the good thing is I think you're learning how to balance it, but there's still this disconnect. So I mean, sometimes it makes more sense to you when I'm talking about things, but this might be something I would do a reading on as well. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I think that you're opening yourself up to moving on from some of those disappointments, and that's where this balance is coming in, and that's where this connection with this new growth is connecting to these things. So it's connected more so to the stuff that you're leaving behind, but I think maybe that's the catalyst in you being able to leave that behind, is because you're like going at it with a new mentality, new idea of how you're going to handle things. So oh, you do, okay, you know exactly what that is. So you may not need a reading on it, but you know, it is just something to keep in mind, that I do think it has some connection there. But it does seem like with these being more at the forefront, it seems more so like this energy, the negative thing here and the disappointment is sort of being put on the back burner. I didn't talk about the dice. So this is 12. This could represent 12 months from now or the 12th month. I know you asked, but I didn't necessarily do the pull that way. Was for over the next 3 months. December is part of that. So maybe this is all stuff leading up to December, or leading up through December, or this, you know, this is going to be work that you pull into this through December for you. And then here we had, what was this, 43. Again, 0 to 50 is all internal. So I feel like everything happening here is all internal. This is everything you need to do internal work on. There's no real major external influences at this point that would really change how this progression is going to go. I mean, of course, everything, you know, we're always affected externally, but so 0 to 50, this is 43. So it's a little bit on the more leaning more on the difficult side, with 50 being the most difficult. So this is going to be a little bit of a mind fuck, I think. Something that you have to be very, very intentional on tackling. But yeah. I mean, so this is recorded. You can always go back and, look at this again if you want to do your own cards, or, I'm happy to pull some cards for you later regarding all that stuff going on. But yeah, thank you guys for letting me do bone readings. I feel like I feel so much better doing them after like I did the first few on my channel, and I was just like, oh gosh, I felt so out of sorts, like disconnected from my bone set, and I did not feel like it gave that person a very good reading. So I think I ended up pulling tarot cards for them. Yeah, of course. I mean, you know where to find me. Alrighty, guys. I gotta get ready and get all of my Renaissance fair / elf gear on for my Halloween party and grab a little bit of bite to eat. So happy Halloween, you guys. If you're going out, be safe. If you're staying in, then be spooky and go wild. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye.